I don't know about you, but it definitely does feel like the future is going to be cooked.
It just said declined.
Yeah, it says you've gone over your weekly meat allowance.
My allowance? I only fancied a steak for dinner. I've not bought that much this week.
I'm afraid the system's strict. It won't let me put it through.
You're joking. Wait, stop, police!
Well, I hear that at least carnivores have good cardio, as of course the conversation about Palantir, the surveillance states, just got very interesting as we had the Vice President of the United States drop a bombshell and say that he does not support Palantir data harvesting private information from American citizens on U.S. soil. What in the world's going on here? Is, of course, his answer to Theo Von a couple of months ago was a little bit different, as there's some very interesting developments happening right now with Palantir and the UK government and the Israeli government and all the other big contracts going out there, as the national ID push, like you saw, fictionally characterized in this AI rendition, is probably not going to be as bad as the real thing as right now. There's an interesting conversation that's starting that JD Vance is leading, as even my friend Tim Pool just announced JD Vance 2028, as personally, I'm just a little bit more skeptical myself, to be quite honest with you. And before getting into some of my skepticisms, as well as this very engaging Q&A session by the President of the United States, we're going to get into a lot of the things that a lot of other people are too afraid to get into. And if you appreciate that, subscribe, click the notification button. As of course, it's not easy talking about the technocratic, digital, communistic, authoritarian surveillance state that we are currently living under, that is far more nefarious than we could even conceptualize. Anyway, a few years ago, they were doing psychological studies about manipulating people's emotions through algorithms. They knew many years ago, when women were pregnant before they even did, they were sending advertisements saying, oh, look, here's some diapers you should buy. Before the woman even knew she was pregnant. That was years ago. Imagine what they have now. Even crazier stuff. We'll get into all that. And if you appreciate those conversations, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you spend with us, as Candace Owens just even came out on our private paywall live stream to her supporters, saying she's not sure if Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and Peter Thiel, if they were even stabbed, they don't know if they would bleed, because they could be, quote, hybrid droids ushering in, quote, demonic artificial intelligence. Now, a lot of people are saying that's unhinged. Is it? As of course, it seems like an absurd notion, but with the way that things are going, I'm at a level and I'm like, I just shrug. I'm like, well, is it could probably. Anyway, we'll get into the theoretical, and we'll get into the conspiracy theories later. But JD Vance was just asked about Palantir in this very interesting interaction that I wanted to play to give you an insight into his answer, which some people say contradicts his previous answers.
Hello, Vice President Vance.
How you doing?
Good. I have a question. Do you condone large private corporations such as Palantir hoarding data caches on U.S. citizens?
No, I don't condone it. And here's the thing. So I get asked about Palantir a lot because there's this internet meme out there that somehow I am super in bed with Palantir.
Well, it's not just a meme. There's a lot of high-level Palantir individuals like Peter Thiel that have been very important in your life, right? There's a lot of questions now coming out against Peter Thiel, potential involvement with Epstein. We still haven't had that cleared up. And Palantir, as an organization, their CEO literally publicly bragged about stopping the far right. Then he clarified we did it because we stopped terrorism in Europe. And that's the kind of explanation that JD Vance was giving Theo Von a couple months ago, saying, look, we need the surveillance state in order to stop immigration, in order to stop terrorism. And there's an argument for this. And listen, we'll steelman and strawman these arguments because I think there's arguments for both here. But that's also the arguments that are being made right now in the United Kingdom, with Keir Starmer being like, look, you want to stop those immigrants? You want to stop those? We got to get national ID in. We got to track, trace, and database everything that you're doing online. Every little thing you like and search for, we're going to know. We're going to know what you're going to need before you even need it. We're going to know everything, which is crazy, which is insane.
And here's the thing that I'd say about this. Palantir is a private company. They sometimes do
they're a major, and again, it's like they're a private company. They get to do what they want. Well, let's hey there, buddy. Hey. Palantir came out because the Total Information Awareness Program was rebuked by the general public after 9/11. After 9/11, they were like, government, do whatever you want, stop these gosh darn terrorists. Perfect excuse to do a power grab, right? Then the government's like, okay, we're going to do the Total Information Awareness. And then the general public's like, whoa. Total information. We don't want that. No. Shoot, get out of here. This is crazy. This is a clear violation of our privacy, of our civil rights, of the ability of government to be an authoritarian figure above us and have their boot over our neck. And the government said, okay, fine. Then Palantir came up. And whose contracts did they get first? The CIA. Palantir is essentially a private contractor for the CIA, right? And other foreign governments, now the Israeli government, the UK government. But the intel agencies were like, yeah, we can't do certain things. They're illegal. So we'll just start a private company. We'll let them do it. That's how I think it went down. So to say, oh, they're just a private company. Yeah, I don't know. Now listen. Alex Jones has a very interesting argument for Palantir. We'll get into that argument, but they're also getting a lot of dough. They're also getting a lot of money from the taxpayer. Before talking about that and playing the rest of this JD Vance clip and then the Theo Von clip and then the clip about JD Vance responding on Israel, we wanted to, of course, remind you very quickly, sign up to lookandfilter.com, 20 cents a day, $8 a month. I would rather work for you than I would rather work for, and I would never work for any kind of foreign government, lobbyist, special interest group. People come and try to buy me, and I'm like, get out of here. I'd rather stay broke and asking you guys for help. I'm doing a lot better than I did last year when the IRS wiped out and just took everything from me, probably because of some kind of program. But anyway, my life was very difficult last year. My life is a little bit better now. Thank you for your support, for you watching this video. If you can't afford it, I get it. Sharing this video means a lot to me too. But if you do have the means, if you have 20 cents a day, sign up. You get to talk to me one-on-one. We had a very interesting chat down the conspiracy rabbit hole yesterday about what happened to Charlie. And I kind of, gave my insights from my personal understanding and knowing some of the people involved here. It was a good, I think, constructive conversation. Be a part of those conversations by signing up to lookandfilter.com. You also get 3 masterclasses, 13 years of exclusive videos. We have a shirt dropping just for members. That is very, very spicy. And I'm like, I hope no one sees it. Anyway, if you wear it, warning signs, things are going to get crazy. Anyway, lookunfiltered.com. The link is down in the description. Sign up now. Prices are going to be going up because, again, just everything's going up. It's crazy. But I want to be here for you guys doing that. And again, if you want me to see you want to see me thrive and grow and build and expand, invest in me in a little bit. If everyone just did a little bit, man, the world would be so much better for independent media. If people just voted with their clicks and with their dollars, my goodness. I mean, you're going to be supporting Netflix? You're going to be we're lower than that. We're lower than Netflix now. Anyway, subscribe to lookandfilter.com. Don't. Sorry, I did something on my. And look, here's what JD Vance is saying.
Useful service, and sometimes they're going to do things that we don't like. You should be demanding that your representatives do 2 things when it comes to Palantir or when it comes to any other technology company. Number 1, protecting your data. What's going on with artificial intelligence is going to mean that there are massive inducements to steal your data, to harvest it, and to use it against you to sell digital advertisements. That is not what I believe in, and I've been fighting against it, whether it's Palantir or any other technology company, literally before I ran for office.
And listen, if he's been fighting for it, he's been losing that fight. All right. Donald Trump started an initiative saying we got to be on top of the AI race. We're investing $500 billion. We want to make sure we're going to be on top of the AI race. What do you need to be on top of the AI race? Data, information. And listen, the United States government has been horrible when it comes to protecting your data, your information. A lot of your data is out there on the black market, whether you like it or not. And it's an absolutely wild west world of data information, as there's already a social credit score here that the corporations have on you, that big tech social media companies have on you. In China, the government has it on you. In America, the private corporations have it on you. And again, when it comes to protecting your privacy, your data, your information, the government's horrible at it. And listen, JD Vance says, I fight for this. Well, we've been losing. We've been losing very severely.
When I ran for office, I was criticized by Republicans in my Republican Senate primary because I was talking then about Google and Facebook harvesting our data. It's unacceptable. I don't care who does it. I don't want them to do it. Number two, and this is also very important, what's going on with artificial intelligence, we got to be worried about large-scale surveillance, okay?
Not just that, but the disruption of our entire economy, our entire way of life. And again, it's pretty clear the Trump administration is doubling down, tripling down, and saying all hands on deck. We want to be the top dog when it comes to AI.
Everything. When you asked about Palantir, do you know that every time you make a credit card transaction, the credit card companies are collecting data on how you spend your money?
They even had a list of people who believed in the Second Amendment and bought Second Amendment list stuff, and and then the ATF was like, "Give us the list, let us know what everyone's buying," and they're like, "Yeah, sure, guys, here you guys go."
Do you know that every time you linger over a link on the internet,
except for MasterCard, I think, double check me, fact check me on that one,
for
but American Express, Visa, all of them,
more than a half second, the search engines are collecting data on you so that they can sell you advertisements. One of the biggest questions for American policy over the next 10 years is how to ensure that you are a sovereign citizen. And you cannot be a sovereign citizen if any private corporation or any government can steal something from you that belongs to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we need data rights, and we don't have data rights. We have predatory, crazy companies out there. Now, that was a very strong kind of rebuke of the current AI surveillance states and what this administration is doing, what they've been doing, and they have been doing. But that's a totally different answer than he gave Theo Von, which means something has shifted. Whether it's people's opinions have shifted, so he has decided to shift his policies in order to be more likable. I mean, JD Vance always says the perfect thing at the right time at the right place. And I'm like, too coincidental. My spidey senses are like tingling, like, it's like, what does he have? Does he have like some kind of like brain chip or like AI data center that like, say this, all right, general public consensus, move it this way, make people feel comfortable this way. That's what I think. The guy's too good. He's too good when it comes to being eloquent, sharp, and saying the right thing at the right time. Now he's pushing back against Palantir when here on Theo Von show, he wasn't wrong. So you got to give us all of your data and all of your privacy. Similar arguments are happening right now in the United Kingdom. Now, JD Vance also came out here and says like, oh, no, they're not, stealing your data. This is what is happening here, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong, is that they're buying information from all the other companies that JD Vance was just talking about, saying, oh, AI surveillance tech is being used and implemented there, with some people even going as far as to describe how they have a list of people that they should detain, that they should arrest, that they should let go, that they should free, and then that the list of people that they should take out. And some people accuse that list of being wrong. Now, listen, Palantir, there's a lot of controversy here regarding them. Alex Jones came out and was like, listen, we got the left-wing intelligence agencies, we got the right-wing intelligence agencies. This is the right-wing intelligence agencies. Give them what they want. They're fighting the deep state. They're fighting the left. That's essentially what Alex Jones made. And I need a little bit more kind of evidence and proof in order to personally kind of believe that, because I think we're still racing towards this kind of cliff that there's no going back from when it comes to total AI control. And these kind of like mad scientists are like, give us all your data. We're going to collect and harvest everything. And then we're going to give it to the system that's going to rule over us. It's going to be smarter than us and more intelligent than us that we probably won't be able to control. What could happen? There's nothing wrong that could happen from that. And I'm like, I remember being at passport control as an American citizen. They're like, all right, we're going to take your photo. I'm like, I'm an American citizen. I have a right to refusal. I'm going to deny. Like, why? Are you afraid? What? Huh? What's wrong? And then they started questioning me like I'm some kind of criminal. I'm like, bro, I have a right to say no. I have a right to refusal. Please, no. Respect my privacy. The government is horrible at protecting your data. Less data, the better. I don't want your data. I don't want all my data. Now, again, Palantir, getting a lot of contracts. They landed a $10 billion Army software and data contract. Their stock is up 1,700% since the New York Stock Exchange debut 5 years ago. And very interestingly, though, this is another thing that people need to understand. The digital ID, again, being marketed the same way by Keir Starmer. We're going to track illegal immigrants. The community note says most people require NI number or passport to work legally in the UK. Employers who do not check ID now are likely to do the same in the future. However, it's widely acknowledged that digital ID is an assault on personal liberty, a part of a trend by government. Yeah, stop that trend. All right. And then Keir Starmer's like, everyone's going to be safer. No one's going to steal your data. You idiot. You freaking imbecile. You drunkard, authoritarian, pig whore of the state. Pisses me off. Look at this. Look at this. Pig kissing. Nanny state bootlicking authoritarian. Pisses me off. The government loses your data all the time. The government's like, but give us more. We'll keep you safe so no one steals your data. You lost the data in the first place. Insane. Pisses me off. Anyway, very interestingly, Palantir was asked by the British government, hey, help us implement digital ID so we could track, trace, database, and spy and create little slaves everywhere. Palantir was like, oh, that's too much for us, bro. We're not even going to do that. You're not? Okay. As Palantir has declined to participate in the UK government's digital ID scheme because of their, quote, concerns about public support and potential misuse. Good PR move. Smart. And listen, to steel man this, I have my questions, I have my concerns. I still need them answered. But JD Vance telling Republicans, hey, stop fearing federal power. Democrats pioneered and weaponized it. Is true, but I don't believe we should stop fearing it. I think it should always be a fear, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat. I think we should always prioritize civil liberties, personal freedoms, and privacy. And not saying, oh, the Democrats did it, so they pushed the goalposts towards authoritarianism, so we'll push it a little bit more in the same direction. And I'm like, just because you don't go as far as they do, doesn't make you some kind of innocent party here. That's my own 2 cents, my own kind of rebuttal. I still never got the chance to talk about JD Vance as president of the United States or his gesture towards Israel. I'm going to do that in a future video. So if you want to see that, subscribe, click the notification button. Thank you for allowing me to work for you. 20 cents a day means the world to me. $8 a month, just like nothing. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on youtube.com/wearegeeks.